Technik-Tutorial.
First of all, the cleaned and, in this case, shaved fur must be soaked well for at least 24 hours to make it soft and supple. In the Stone Age, this was probably done in a lake or river. I simply put it in a tub and weighed it down with a stone. During this time, you can, for example, make your Stone Age knives in the form of chipped and very sharp flints. This is very easy with a chipping stone and a leather base. You can also twist the string yourself. I just want to show this here. I only used a twisted cord to tie the fur ring that I pulled through the eyelets. It's a tedious job, and I wasn't sure if the cords I twisted were long enough. That's why I ended up using a ready-made cord. You can now cut the fur relatively easy with one of the sharp flint chips and then also cut a thin strip to pull through the eyelets as a holding cord. If possible, the strip should not be thicker than the holes you have made in the eyelets. I didn't quite manage this and had to work a bit to get the cord into the eyelets. In the end, I simply knotted the cord and then tied it tight with my homemade raffia cord. Next came the holes for the holding cord. I also cut these with a very small and very sharp flint. It is important to make short slits parallel to the edge and not towards the edge. Otherwise the fur could tear out. At first I only made holes for the tensioning rope in the places where I had eyelets. Then I realized that this was nonsense. You need a lot more holes than just the number of eyelets. It's best to simply make a hole every 1.5 or 2 centimeter. I did that too, but you can't see it in the video. Now the fur is attached. I simply pulled the cord through one of the holes and then through the holding cord and into the next hole. After a while, I realized that it's better if you don't leave the cord on the ball, but cut it long enough. As I was worried that the cord might be too short, I left it far too long, which made a lot of work for me. Now we have some time for a few basic thoughts. Of course, you can't really make such a replica from A to Z, as was done in the Stone Age. You would have to start by slaughtering and skinning a goat, and you would have to collect clay yourself and fire it in a specially made fireplace. That is not feasible. But you can get as close to the source as possible. And that's what I tried to do. Of course, not everything worked out, and I would do some things differently now. Funnily enough, the sample drum I made in advance turned out bigger, better shaped and more aesthetic than the one you see here in the video. That's how it is sometimes. In any case, I would be delighted to receive a thumbs up from you, especially if you have already made something similar yourself. Feel free to share your experiences and thoughts with me. At the end, tighten everything again so that the fur really goes over the edge and lies flat everywhere. Then simply knot it. I then spontaneously made myself a loop so you can carry the drum with one hand. And now it's finished and needs to dry well so that the skin completely clings to the clay body. Let's hope it sounds good in the end.